I mean, this is definitely frustrating. I really am pissed off and annoyed because I thought the Sixers had an opportunity looking at them right in the face and they didn't take it. And here's what I will say. The Raptors outcompeted them. The Sixers, the last two games, they were hustling. Their intensity was there. Defensively, they were amazing. Today, I thought early the Raptors came out, made a statement with their play. They silenced the crowd, but the Sixers allowed them to do it. You can match effort. Effort is something that you can match and that you can control. I didn't think that they competed as hard as the Raptors, and on top of that, they didn't execute like the Raptors did. Now, realistically, after I read you some of these stats here, I'm stunned that it was even as close as it was. This was a ball game with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's mind-blowing that it was even that close based off of what our stars did late in this game. Jimmy Butler was amazing, right? With his 29 points, being primary ball handler. He was a difference maker, and he was the only reason, along with J.J. Redick, why we were even in this game. James Ennis was nice off the bench. Greg Monroe showed what he really is. I mean, I never expected Greg Monroe to really be a difference maker off the bench. In 11 minutes, he was minus 18. Mike Scott was very, very poor off the bench, so our bench play clearly wasn't there and was not a factor, as the Raptors got a little bit of some bench play out of Serge Ibaka today. And Joel Embiid late in this game. Joel Embiid sucked today. You talk that smack after that outstanding game on Game 3 and respond with that? That's annoying to me. It's annoying to me because down the stretch, he was brutal. He was pathetic, really. He started out 0 of 2 from the free throw line, then 1 of 2 from the free throw line, travel, and then missed a go-ahead bucket with a minute left in the basketball game. A layup. So Joel Embiid late, there's got to be something going on with the leg injury after a dunk early in this game. You see him grimacing. He had some wrap and some bandages going around his knee. But I'm just saying, like, you talk that smack, you're the big energy guy after a big win. 11 points. Brutal basketball game the next night in a game where you can take a 3-1 series lead. That bothers me as a fan. It bothers me. Ben Simmons, I love him. I love him. Today was a brutal basketball game out of Ben Simmons. He was atrocious defensively. I know Kawhi Leonard's a tough task, but he's done such a great job over the last two games. Today was like he wasn't as checked in as he should be. He wasn't as dialed in as he should be, as he was minus 16 and offensively, missing layups, scared. So scared Ben Simmons was offensively to an extreme level. I know he normally is, but to an extreme. He was so nervous to go to the rim because probably early on he missed 2 free throws in a row and he didn't want to get fouled. There was a time he was underneath the basket. All he had to do was lay it in, but he's scared. He knows he's going to get fouled, so he kicks it off. He kicks it out so quickly because he doesn't want to get fouled. Ben Simmons was horrible today, and so was Tobias Harris. 7 of 23, 2 of 13 from 3. There was a moment in the fourth quarter. We had a wide open 3. Joel Embiid was quadruple teamed down low in the paint. We were up 3 at this point. Wide open 3. Brick. And they go down and score. And I put a little star next to that. That is a monstrous turn of events there. Up 6 compared to up 1. I don't know how it was this close. I really don't. Kawhi Leonard's monster night was obviously unbelievable with his 39 points, 14 rebounds. He also had 7 turnovers, which was crazy. But you had other contributors from the Raptors. Marc Gasol stepped up a little bit. Kyle Lowry had more points. I thought that Marc Gasol on Tobias Harris, they tried to use that matchup a little bit more as Gasol would go to the paint more than we have seen and put his back to the basket to make some moves. They did a lot of driving and kicking out to wide open threes, which once again comes to, I thought our defense was poor today compared to how they have been in the second and third. The Raptors came out with an attitude that they needed this win, and they got it. How it was this close, I really don't know, because I thought the Sixers were bad. Jimmy Butler was a reason why this was close. J.J. Redick was a reason why this was close. So I guess I do know why it was this close, but it doesn't make sense because our stars were really bad, Bad. I have to give credit to the Raptors because they came in here early, they started early, they silenced this crowd, they came out, they attacked, and they came out ready to go and reached a different level of intensity than the Sixers. They competed harder. Through the first 3 games of this series, we out-rebounded the hell out of this team. Today, even. Well, okay, yeah, I think it did end up even. I was going to say, I wrote down some stats with the last 30 seconds still in play. But it showed how much the Raptors were on the glass compared to the last few games. And just, that's effort. That's effort. The Raptors worked harder than us. And it's just frustrating because we let an opportunity slip. A huge opportunity. It was tied going into the fourth quarter. Win a quarter, go up 3-1 instead of 2-2 going back to Toronto. Now, I'm not going to sit here and cry and say it's all over, but we clearly lost an opportunity. This was such a series-changing game, potentially. I'm not saying it's over. I want to see this team respond. It's all about growth. But I need to see this team respond. I mean, how many wide-open looks is Tobias Harris going to get? Really? Wide-open threes. I think the Raptors had a great game plan. There was a time where we had a brutal lineup out there on the bench, or out there on the court with our bench in play. So what do? They double team Jimmy Butler the entire time as he's primary ball handler. Because who's going to score? Is it going to be Greg Monroe? Is it going to be Ben Simmons? Is it going to be James Ennis? Or are you going to live and die with Tobias Harris as their option for the Sixers? So I thought the Raptors came out with a good game plan for certain situations. They did better than they have been. And they outcompeted us. They outcompeted us as a whole. Because even if we did win this game, because we were up late at times, it didn't feel right. Watching that game the whole time as a Sixers fan, I said, it doesn't feel like a Sixers win. It doesn't feel that way. Because we weren't playing that way. So if we were to pull this win off, I still think the Raptors had a better game plan, worked harder than us, and executed better. Where was our defensive intensity that we had through the last 2 games? In Game 2 and Game 3. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. So I'm just extremely disappointed in Joel Embiid late. Horrible late. And I know we wouldn't be here without Joel Embiid. He can't crush. No, I can crush him. That was literally ridiculous. If he talks the smack that he talks, which I love, back it up though. You can't have 11 points in a game like this after giving one of these, windmill dunking, going crazy. This? You don't see Kawhi Leonard doing that. I'm not saying the celebration thing. I'm doing the consistency thing. Kawhi Leonard's dropping consistent points all night. There were times where he was getting wide open threes. Like, it's okay for him to make threes. I'll live with it if it's contested. Miscommunications between Ben Simmons, James Ennis, wide open 3. And we lose game 1, Kawhi drops 45. We lose game 4, Kawhi drops 39, almost 40 points. We win when Kawhi drops, 33? You got to hold him to a certain point. And Kawhi's a dog. I mean, he's a difference maker. He goes out there and wins basketball games. He's an elite superstar in this league. But we have to do better than that. I know good offense beats good defense. I get it. We got to be better. We have to be better. Offensively and defensively. We can't rely on just Jimmy Butler. You got to execute. Tobias has to hit shots. Ben Simmons has to figure something out a little bit more offensively. Because that really was, and I tweeted this out, the most embarrassing Ben Simmons performance, in my opinion, dating back to last year's one-point night. It was that noticeably horrendous offensively for me, and to an extent defensively. I have to give credit to the Raptors. They came out and did their job and tied the series up 2-2, and now the tables have turned. Now it's changed. And realistically, I don't know how much they changed strategy-wise. There were a couple little things. Like I said, Gasol attacked Tobias a couple times, and I don't know, but they didn't change much outside of effort and executing. Right? Effort and executing. So that's where I stand here. Not giving up. Not screaming it's all over. Not getting too emotional after each game, right? It's 2-2. It's a 3-game series now. Now we have a short rest going to Toronto. And I mean, essentially a must-win game on Tuesday. It's not going to be easy, but we've won in Toronto. We've won in Toronto before. Gotta bring the heat. Gotta bring the heat. That's the intensity I'm speaking about. Because it wasn't there today. It wasn't the same thing. The team didn't have it all around. And we won games because our bench played so good the last couple games. James Ennis did. Greg Monroe, trash. Mike Scott, not good. On top of, Tobias' struggles and all. So, I mean, listen, it is what it is, but it's disappointing. How it was that close late, I don't know. I just don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. See you guys next time.